This week on the announcers table, we're talking the 25th anniversary of Raw. Sami Zayn gets a clean win over AJ Styles on SmackDown, and our prediction for both Royal Rumble winners.
Oscar!
What's going on, Russell Geeks? Welcome to another episode of the announcers table. I am your host, B-Rye, and with me, as always, the Canadian screwjob himself, Hertz Gewurz.
Hey, how's everyone doing tonight? B-Rye, how are you doing tonight?
I mean, I'm doing much better than you. You know, I hear you're drinking on the job, which is so not part of your contract. But then again, we did celebrate the 25th anniversary of Raw, so we'll let you get, we'll give you a pass this week.
I appreciate that, man. I've been celebrating all week.
Now, we're going to get into the 25th anniversary of Raw. I mean, I can't believe it's been 25 years. You know, I'm 34. When Raw first was released, I was like 8 years old. So to watch this,
terrible at math.
To watch this just go on for so many years, and and for WWE to almost be on the verge of bankruptcy during the Monday Night Wars, it's a great achievement for the McMahon family. I know as much as you hate the McMahon family because they take up all the TV time, but you got to give them credit with this achievement, that they have going on.
Oh, for sure. I mean, nobody has ever said, well, I don't know if anyone, I've never said that Vince McMahon's wasn't a great businessman, didn't come up with a great idea. What he did was amazing. To take over the territories the way that he did is truly phenomenal. Enterprising, but to start off Raw 25 with I think it was a 30-minute promo with the two McMahon kids in the middle of the ring just blabbing on and on and on, just wasting everybody's life. And then the show went over by almost a half hour. They could have cut almost that entire opening segment, just have Vince come out, get stunned, and let's move on. That could have been a 5-minute opening segment. I
mean, it had to kill you. Deep down inside, it had to kill you for them to take 30 minutes. But then again, we did state last week that we did not expect that much wrestling to go on. It was basically a trip down memory lane. It was just straight nostalgia. I mean, just to see the Manhattan Center, the way it was set up from back in the day. And I think one of the brightest spots of Raw 25 wasn't the whole Steve Austin McMahon segment. I think it was the whole DX, Razor Ramon, and the Balor Club all coming together. I think that was basically passing the torch. You had the old guys and then the new generation. And I think that was one of the best spots on the Raw 25. And another great spot was Roman Reigns is no longer Intercontinental Champion.
Hey, The Miz is probably the best Intercontinental Champion of the current generation. He really has. He talks about it a lot. He really has brought prestige back to that title. He clearly cares about it, and he has been carrying the company. We talked about this when he came back a couple weeks ago. He has really been carrying the company for the past year, almost year and a half now, ever since he came back from his concussion. And he has just been one of the top performers on the show. And for him to be rewarded with another Intercontinental Championship victory, he deserves it. And I see only good things out of this reign for him. I think the biggest downside for you is going to be this clears the way for Roman Reigns to probably win the Royal Rumble again in Philadelphia again. They're not going to like that. You're not going to like that. But I'm pretty sure that's
definitely not going to like it. Granted, Roman Reigns has put in the work and the time, but his time to shine passed when WWE was supposed to pull the trigger. And now they're just basically forcing him down everyone's throats, kind of like what they did with John Cena. The difference is that John Cena, one, is better on the microphone, and two, John Cena embraces the love and the hate.
True.
With Roman Reigns, he doesn't embrace the love and the hate. You don't know whether he's a good guy. You don't know whether he's a heel. He's just the guy. What does that mean? It means nothing.
It doesn't mean much. He's not great on the microphone, and the program that he did with John Cena really didn't do him any favors. He really showed that he wasn't that great on the microphone, which is kind of sad. But I think they're going to try again with him. I don't think there's much else that they can do. I think they're just going to be trying again with him.
Now, as far as Raw 25 goes, there was supposed to be a segment with Enzo Amore. For all you Wrestle Geeks out there who heard about Enzo Amore, he was first suspended, and then he was released the following day due to rape allegations, which he allegedly raped a victim. I mean, I have been doing a lot of research on this breaking news story that we got this week, and I'm actually siding with Enzo on this. I mean, granted, he did not tell WWE, that he was being investigated. He knew about it, and I think that's the reason why he got fired. But I saw the video that the girl sent to TMZ, basically, saying, the allegations. I mean, one part of the story was that she basically went to the hospital the same night that she was raped. But then when she's telling her story, she says she woke up next to Enzo and asked for her clothes, and he laughed, and then that's when she went to the hospital. So there's too many discrepancies in the story as far as it goes. And not only that, Philomena, that's the girl's name, her former best friend has text messages stating that she had just finished having sex with a famous wrestler. So this could just be either like a cash grab, like you're just trying to get 15 minutes of fame, or you're just using all of this sexual abuse, sexual assaulting that's going on in the entertainment world to try to get to try to put another name down. I mean, I really don't know. I'm not the lawyer in this situation, unlike this guy right here. But I
don't know. I don't want to get into. I don't want to parse the details of anybody's story or whatever her intentions are. I never like the idea of victim blaming in situations like this. There's an investigation pending, and we're put our faith in the investigators. I know that the WWE did their own independent investigation into what happened, and I also know that they have PR considerations to make. If it comes out that Enzo did nothing wrong, then you hope he can get his life back together. But in the meanwhile, he knew he was under investigation. The facts are he knew he was under investigation. He didn't tell his employers, and he works in the public eye. Enzo has to be aware of those things, and he has to take better steps to be better protected for himself and for his company. He represents the WWE, especially as a title holder. He represents himself, and he represents the WWE. For him to even be involved in allegations like this looks very bad for him, and it looks very bad for the company. So I don't have any problem with the WWE releasing Enzo or anything to that effect. One of the things that you have to think about with Enzo is you have to think about separating the artist from the art, right? I liked Enzo Amore, the performer. He wasn't the best, technical wrestler in the world, but he was excellent on the mic. His loss is going to be felt on the roster. He brought the Cruiserweight division to, the third hour of Raw, where it had never been. He brought the Cruiserweight division into, an area where people actually cared about it. And that took a lot of work from him, and that was an amazing feat. I'm very interested to see where the division's going to go without him. And I was thinking a really cool way to decide the next Cruiserweight champion would be at the Royal Rumble pre-show. Let's do a Cruiserweight Royal Rumble. All the Cruiserweights, everyone you're going to debut. I know there are, it's Royal Rumble season, it's WrestleMania season, so I know you're going to debut some new wrestlers. Let's get all the Cruiserweights in a ring, and let's decide a new champion that way during the pre-show to the Royal Rumble. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's a cheap way to get a new champion. If anything, just have like what they did for the United States Championship, have a tournament where you're giving a guy a shot. I mean, you're still getting a shot if you do a Cruiserweight Royal Rumble, but apparently they're gonna get a new GM for 205 Live. I really don't watch the Cruiserweight division. It's not my cup of tea. But what I do want to bring up about the whole Enzo situation, and now it leaves Nia Jax in a limbo because they have this love story going on. Now going on with Nia Jax, she's going to be in the Royal Rumble. She basically teamed up with Absolution this week. As you guys know, Paige is injured and her career may be done. We still don't know. But, I feel bad for Nia Jax because I think this storyline was gonna propel her into the next level of her career, and now it just like disappeared.
I never was a fan of the love angles, the love storylines. They never really went anywhere. I'm almost glad to see that Nia Jax is going to be done with this. I know that they had done a pretty good job writing it with having Nia Jax sort of choosing between her friend and her boyfriend or whatever. When she was choosing between Alexa Bliss and Enzo Amore. That was pretty cool. It was pretty well written, but I think Nia Jax as a performer is more than good enough to take care of herself and take care of her spot in the women's division. And I think the Royal Rumble is going to be great for the women's division. I think they are going to really be able to showcase themselves, and we'll be able to see how good these performers really are. And it's a very exciting time.
Okay. Now, going on to SmackDown, I mean, I think this was the second week we really didn't see Shane McMahon start the show.
I was so happy. I mean, I was had a bit of a Shane McMahon hangover from Raw 25, but yeah, he didn't really do too much.
I believe, I mean, I'm starting to believe the botcher here that they're maybe watching our show and taking some of our ideas. Because that's 2 weeks in a row. We only saw him at the beginning where he told something to Daniel Bryan, and then we saw him at the end letting Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens know, like, if you interfere, then you're both fired, which I thought it was fine. He's just laying down a stipulation. If you interfere, whatever, this is what's going to happen to you. But what I did like was that, AJ Styles did beat Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens, kind of got injured in the match. But then, due to AJ being zealous and, overconfident, he was beaten by Sami Zayn clean. He got a Helova kick and then a Blue Thunder Bomb, and, Sami Zayn got the 1-2-3 to end the show. Does that look good going into a pay-per-view? No, it looks like the champion is not prepared for both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. But as you and I both know, most of the time when a champion does get pinned on a go-home show, it means they're going to keep the title. I don't see AJ losing the title, especially to have co-champions, especially you didn't explain how co-champions would work. So, yeah. I mean, me personally, I like the clean win with Sami Zayn, but I do see AJ still retaining the title.
I think anytime you see Sami Zayn win clean, that's a good thing. I don't think Sami Zayn has gotten enough love for how good a performer he is in the ring and on the microphone. He's sort of just been the guy that follows Kevin Owens around, even though he came up to the main show first, but he's sort of just been Kevin Owens' other guy for a really long time now. I liked the aspect of AJ Styles and Kevin Owens match where AJ Styles sort of you saw sort of a mean streak come out of AJ Styles that you hadn't really seen in a long time, and I was wondering if this might be the beginning of something of a heel turn for him. He puts, I'm going to assume that he's going to retain the championship at the Royal Rumble because there's no way they want co-champions going into WrestleMania season. So you put the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn feud behind AJ Styles, and it probably looks like a heel turn for AJ Styles, and you have him face, a John Cena or something like that going into WrestleMania. I know that you are so sure that John Cena is facing the Undertaker at WrestleMania, but whatever. AJ Styles and Randy Orton would be nice. No. Something like that.
No. And what the fans want is AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura. That's what the fans want. That's what the fans deserve.
Okay, and that would be another great matchup. And again, Shinsuke Nakamura is not going to be the heel in that matchup. So seeing AJ Styles take a heel turn now would help to set that up.
Now, talking about heels, before we get into the Royal Rumble predictions, talking about heels, the person I want to see have a heel turn is this person right here, Sasha Banks. I think Sasha Banks is in need of a character change. She's in need of a heel turn badly. I mean, what is your take on that?
Absolutely. Seeing her pretend to pal around with Bayley this whole time has just been a little sickening. Sasha Banks is one of those people. Charlotte Flair is another where you just never buy them as the face. Like they're just not good people. Bobby Roode's another. I don't understand Bobby Roode as a face. Bayley is her best work is done when she can be just a total jerk to everybody around, and she can't do that when she's supposed to be, this happy-go-lucky, fun-loving whatever. Just doesn't work like that. She needs to be a heel in order for her character to make any sense. The problem you run into is everybody loves her so much, the fans love her so much that WWE just doesn't want to turn her heel. So it's a difficult balance, and it's something that they have to work on. But Bayley versus Sasha Banks doesn't even need to be for the title, and it's going to be one of the best matches you have on your show.
Of course. Now, going on to Royal Rumble predictions. This year we have 2 Royal Rumbles. We have the women, we have the men's. Now, I want to talk about the women's Royal Rumble because the main focus of the women's Royal Rumble right now, the odds-on favorite to win is Asuka. Now, what I want to know is, if Asuka gets eliminated from the Royal Rumble, would that be considered her first loss, or would it be considered, being as it's just a Rumble, it's not really considered a loss because, you was just eliminated. Like, I want to know. And also, what I want to know, too, is if the winner does win, are they going to have the option to face a champion from whichever brand they choose? Remember how it was back in the day when they had the brands, and if the winner wanted to go to SmackDown to face the champion of SmackDown, he could? I mean, I would like to see that. And if any woman was to win the Women's Royal Rumble, I would say Nia Jax would be my favorite going in. And then she makes the jump to SmackDown to face Charlotte for the title.
That would be a very interesting matchup. That's actually not something I had thought of. That would be a really good matchup.
That's why I'm the host.
That's why you're the host. I don't see that happening. They've said over and over that it's the same rules as the guys. So I'm pretty sure what we're going to see is if a SmackDown superstar wins the Women's Royal Rumble, then they're going to face the SmackDown champion, and same thing for Raw. The only way I see Asuka being eliminated from the Royal Rumble is if you get, a surprise entrance from a really huge star, and everyone, has always been for the last 3 years been talking about Ronda Rousey joining the WWE. There are tons of stories out there saying how close they are to a deal. If anyone is going to eliminate Asuka, it has to be someone of that star power. And I say star power and not skill because I don't know how good Ronda Rousey is as a wrestler. And I think Asuka absolutely deserves a victory there. I think she deserves to main event WrestleMania. I think Asuka versus Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania is going to be a killer match. And the program that those two would be able to do together would be it would be so much fun to watch, and it would be so great for both of those wrestlers that I don't think I could condone any other end to the Women's Royal Rumble.
Okay. I mean, the only way I can see Asuka being eliminated is one of 2 scenarios. Number 1 would be if maybe a few of the women superstars gang up on her, maybe 2, 3, or 4 of them, and just end up eliminating her.
It would have to take 6 because she's already beaten 2 people in the ring.
Exactly.
In 1-on-2 handicap matches.
And I'm gonna say this as one of my predictions: Ronda Rousey comes out at number 30. I think you'll save her for a high number. I don't think she'll be like an AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles was perfect at the number 3 spot 2 years ago at the Rumble. But I think you'll save Ronda Rousey for a high spot, maybe even number 30, just to get the fans like, oh my God, is she really here? Is she not here? Just like that one year when everybody thought Daniel Bryan was gonna come out number 30 and we got Rey Mysterio. It was just like, oh, come on.
That was in Phil, or was that? No, that was not Philadelphia.
No, it wasn't Philadelphia. But like I said, I would definitely like to see Nia Jax win the Royal Rumble. I think the last 3 will probably be Jax, Asuka, and like I said, Ronda Rousey. Mm-hmm. Should Ronda Rousey win it? No, because Asuka and both Nia Jax put time and sweat into this business. Mm-hmm. They came up from NXT. They've been doing their thing. And just to let somebody from the MMA world who's probably guaranteed a spot in WrestleMania, whatever, I'm not all for that. You have people who come to work every day, who do their jobs, who make you money. They're the ones you should be catering to. I have nothing against Ronda Rousey. Love Ronda Rousey. I think she'll be great for this business. Like I said, I'm looking forward to a 4 horsewomen versus 4 horsewomen, maybe at WrestleMania, which will also be an awesome match. But then again, that means Charlotte will have to drop the title because you can't just have one woman's title, shot at WrestleMania. So it's kind of a toss-up. So my prediction is Nia Jax. Yours, I'm believing, is Asuka.
It's Asuka. No one is ready for Asuka.
Now going on to the Men's Royal Rumble. There's still 13 slots available. And same thing for the women's. There's still 13 slots available. And I don't really unfortunately, it's either going to be Roman Reigns who wins the Royal Rumble, which it shouldn't be. It should be somebody who we don't expect, like Rusev.
Oh, that would be really cool.
But we know we're not going to get it. We're not going to get it. At one point, Rusev was on this whole undefeated streak until he got buried by John Cena, of course, at WrestleMania. And, I just want to see somebody who we don't expect to win. Baron Corbin, just like he came into the Andre the Giant Battle Royal and he unexpectedly won the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. I want to see somebody who we don't expect to win. Or even better, have Dolph Ziggler come back, eliminate the last guy, and he wins the Rumble.
There's actually, now that if you think about it, there's a chance of that happening, right? Because what is the main event of WrestleMania going to be? It's probably, you've said it a few times, it's probably going to be John Cena and The Undertaker, and they both retire at the end of the match. So if that's going to be the biggest match on the card, you can have a sort of secondary, if you will, WWE Championship match. If you're definitely going to have AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura, maybe Shinsuke Nakamura doesn't need to win the Royal Rumble to get that title shot.
Of course not.
So you have the Universal Champion, and it's going to be someone up against Brock Lesnar, probably. And
well, I'm hoping, and not to cut you off here, but I'm hoping they put the title this Sunday on Braun Strowman.
That would be really cool.
I think he deserves it. I think he totally deserves the title now. He's proven time and time again that, one, he's not scared of the beast, and two, that the beast can be tamed and conquered himself.
No, it's true. And if they do that, then it would be very interesting to see who winds up winning the Royal Rumble, because it's probably not going to be Roman Reigns. It'll probably be someone else, and that'll be a lot of fun. And so I was, just thinking, given the way that you see the card lining up now for WrestleMania, and you have to start thinking about that early, you can have sort of secondary guys, competing for the championship, because the Universal Championship is going to be the third or fourth best match on the card, which is, where you want the hard workers who deserve a spot but maybe aren't as popular as everybody else.
Of course. So, Royal Rumble, NXT Takeover. Not too fond of NXT Takeover this week. I should say this time around. It doesn't look too exciting. There hasn't been many rivalries, so we're not gonna really discuss that. My prediction for the Royal Rumble for the men's is basically somebody other than Roman Reigns, somebody unexpected. I don't know who you have. I think you're in the same boat as I am.
I think it'd be pretty cool if it was Dolph Ziggler, but it's not gonna be Dolph Ziggler. It's gonna be Roman Reigns. Let's be honest with ourselves.
All right. Well, guys, remember, we still have the contest going for the WWE Slam Crate. Remember to like, comment, subscribe for your chance to win the Slam Crate for the month of February. You edit that out.
We'll fix it in post.
So, that concludes this week's episode. And yet again, I'm going to let my co-host take us out because last week he botched it.
Make sure you are liking, subscribing, and commenting if you want any chance at winning anything in life, really, not even just from the show. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, and commenting. We had a great time tonight. Thank you, and thank you for watching. And we'll see you next week.
Until next week, Wrestle Nerds, I'm your host, B-Rye.
And I'm the other guy.
Hertz Gerverts. This is the announcer's table.
You guys suck.